But yeah, so you feel Calamity, if this is to go late, she could out-carry to an extent here?
I'm not entirely sure. I think that it depends. Like, if they were to like hit each other one-on-one, I think it would be really even. Maybe even like favor the Corrupted Disciple to an extent. But like in terms of team fight and value, as it comes as supporting your team and actually like carrying your team, I think that Calamity might have a higher value.
Yeah. Okay.
With that ultimate especially.
Yeah, and a very interesting item build. It goes from the post-ace. Again, I honestly think she went post-ace first. Maybe I'm wrong, though. But anyways, Thunderclaw post-ace, and now a Shrunken ahead. It's just a very heavy, like, team fight presence utility build here. Not necessarily maximum damage output build coming out. But I guess they're looking for fights, and you see Deadlift trying to hit somebody here with his Q or his Death Grip ability, but coming up a little short right there, so... No,
yeah, Torture needs to be careful in the mid. Parasite just had a Wild Hunter.
Yeah.
He just barely missed the Torture. They might still look to go for it, though.
Yeah, they're trying to find him. We got 8 deaths already, one on a 9th, they say. And yeah, they're going to be jumping, but a TP just came in. Calamity's here, Thunder's Fault. Yes, it's going to be applied right here. Parasite and Magnus, Bear Brain Dart. They go down, and Torture lived on top of that. I'm not even sure how he lived. A tablet, I'm guessing. No tablet or anything. He just managed to actually get out of there. They couldn't leave the Sunder's Vault, obviously.
Gosh,
wow.
I was so lucky at the same time from the Legion team because they were porting in because they wanted to defend the tier 2 tower at bottom, and voila, 2 heroes clumped up just next to their port ends. So getting 2 heroes for free almost, and they're... No, wait, did they deny the tower? Or did the Hellborn team? Yeah,
they
actually
just
denied the tower as well. Nice. Legion team showing a lot of promise here.
Proved to be a very, very effective turn. You know, that was... I don't know if they saw them at the last second, but they were TPing in literally as they jumped Torturer. So maybe that was just coincidence, but boy, was that perfect in terms of the timing right there. And yeah, we saw the power of Sunder's Vault as well coming out, locking them in place really, or in that area, preventing them from leaving it, and Torturer is able to just walk on out himself. So that's some nice utility there of the team. And look at this onslaught coming out from Deadlift. You see the damage. Now again, I feel like we've seen this several times now when we happen to have seen the Deadlifts very rarely, but they use Onslaught early. I really think you need to wait for the opposing creep wave to use it to maximum efficiency, but he wanted to use it kind of right away right there as they were pushing. And in the end, they fall back because of invulnerability, but I'm not saying I'm a pro Deadlift player by any means, but keeping that in mind.
Parasite in a very risky position. Chain Reaction is going to hit.
There's a stomp to follow, and this should be a kill. No chance to get out, maybe. Magnus comes in, he takes over the Puzzle Box Minion, and now Morax's actually in trouble. However, Invis, but guess what? Puzzle Box Minions, they see through the Invis. And Magnus has another stun coming up in 1 second. Red Power Throw, beautiful connection on the Red Power Throw, and the Gravestone also going to be killed off immediately. As you can tell, they're on top of that especially. As, wow, Parasite lives in. They turn for the kill. Torturer should be fun. Nope, never mind. There's the portal key. And there's the kill and a Torture. And yeah, kill the Gravestone. As Sunder's Vault, though, comes out. And here comes a turn potential. Cthulhu Volley misses stun on Corrupted Disciple to kill Magnus, though. And now Corrupted Disciple overload is up, trying to get away, though. You do see Deadlift chasing him down right there using the Dead Shell Rise nuke. Not nearly enough damage, though. Very little, in fact. Here we go with the Death Script, but that's going to miss as well. And Calamity and Cthulhu going to chase Cthulhu Trample. He needs to hit this. Yes, he will hit it, and Corrupted Disciple in trouble. You see Calamity positioning herself with the Dragon's Path, and this should be an easy kill shortly after, as it is. So well played by Calamity right there. The Firebomb as well, helping to keep him in play. So got these new ability names to learn here, man. But good turn.
Yeah, nice patience by Cthulhu as well, not using a premature Trample right there, waiting for the perfect opportunity. And Midas did take over or take out a tier 2 tower dome up here at the top lane while that was going on. So nice counter pushing by Drogon at the same time.
Yeah. Speaking of that, wow, 5,300 gold on Drogon here playing the Midas. So he has had a very successful game.
Oh wow, I didn't notice that. That's insane. Is he gonna go for a fast sheepstick?
He also
do they have the damage to provide or support that?
It looks like it is. I mean, is it ever bad?
No, it's... I mean, you could get an early or too early Polki, or not Polki. At times you can get a too early Cultras if you don't have the damage to like support it, to follow it up.
Okay.
Then a little bit more sustainability or farming potential could be better. but he's probably doing the right choice here in this game. Oh, and look at this deadlift.
Death grip, that had a really funky path. It like went up, left, up. He seemed a little unsure of exactly where he wanted to go with it, and in the end, completely whiffs right there. So, good attempt though. 3,000 gold on Calamity. She actually just bought a Blessed Orb though. That was the other question I was just about to bring up. What should we expect to see on this hero? I mean, that could be so many things. Obviously, it's usually when it's purchased like this, a Sheepstick.
Geometer's Bane.
Okay, why not the Firebrand first then?
Yeah, I mean, she has been going a very defensive route. I mean, prioritizing the shrunken head here relatively early as well. So maybe she is looking for a little bit more stats. And look at that initiation, though. Now Aluna got a tablet, but it's not going to save her.
Yeah, she's going to be picked off. That's actually a good point to bring up, though. Center's Vault tablet does work, as we saw, it goes through it. So you can almost say that's almost like a priority item. You know, heroes like Kronos comes to mind, where or Kraken for that matter, or Pharaoh, or we talk about tablets being a counter. This is kind of another one that could be pretty good again. So good to see the tablet on her, but obviously not enough to save her in the end as the tower goes down in the Legion's team favor. So the push, will they continue is the question, as we're about 30 minutes in right here. Nope, not going to be the case. Calamity porting back, but yeah, definitely interested to see what that Blessed Orb turns into. Well, okay.
Oh, first of all, Skull. That's, I didn't think of that. So well, even more defensive.
Dragon's Path, they do apply the debuffs. So, something like a Frostwolf Skull, it actually will be affected by the dragons. So that's something to keep in mind. I think. Am I wrong on that?
You know, no, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Oh, you know what? I might be wrong on that, because I might actually be thinking something else completely different. I know that there was an ability like this. It was on one of the recent heroes that we did. And I know Taro's W applies a debuff to the second target as well, and I might be thinking that even. But, man, I want to say, but that means, like, Shieldbreaker would be really good on the... I think it does. I think it does, because I remember talking about lifesteal with her, so I'm going to say yes, that is the case. There you go.
We'll probably see in the near future as the game progresses here, seeing as, like, the game is going at least, it would, like, I would be surprised to see it end in the near, or in the next 10 minutes or so. Unless the Legion team, of course, gets a complete genocide and 1 or 2 sets of racks. Look at Torture, by the way. He's going to find Corrupt the Disciple.
No, this is a stun, unfortunately. I don't know if he had the backup anyways. Necessarily there. So, Calamity, the Center's Vault, I mean, there is a pretty good range on that, I think. Yeah, 1,500 without a staff. So, of course, staff will make it global if she chooses for that eventually, but...
Oh, they're actually going to jump onto Midas. I don't think they have enough support to follow it up, no. It's going to scare him off a little bit. But, yeah, the Legion team, they are in a little bit of a... they're in a little bit of a question mark, I feel. I mean, they have been going back and forth now for the last 5 to 10 minutes here. Haven't really committed to a push, because every single time they do, they have been pushing both the bot, and Midas has been sitting here constantly at the top lane, doing a really good job now with that Sheepstick as well, as we can see there, just kiting the Meraxes, getting the creep wave, and then just going back once more, just to make sure that the lane is always pushed in so that the Legion team cannot leave their base.
Yeah.
So, oh, and look at the Hellborn team down at the bot as well. They're actually trying to set a trap for Calamity.
Yeah, she's falling for it too. She's like, all right, this looks safe. Eruption right next to her. She is 100% dead right here. A Luna, Parasite, and Magma Soul collapse. And they ultimately set up a fairly easy kill in the end. Good coordination there, using a couple of ultis, but definitely very necessary to get that important kill. So, and by the way, also noticing that Calamity did use a buyback sometime earlier on in this game, so worth noting there. That she is only down to 1 buyback here as this game progresses on. But good bait, and yeah, especially with that kill, this is going to free up a Kongor attempt pretty easily here. So we jumped into this game. It was a genocide for the Legion team. It seemed like things are actually looking pretty good. They had the Golden Experience lead, but now it seems like Shrek is getting in a pretty comfortable spot themselves.
They have a superior late game when it comes to mobility, as we can see with Midas and Magnus just being such a good counter pushers. Legion team, I feel like if they would have just committed a little bit more and just believed in themselves that they could actually break the base, they would have been in a much better position. But every single time they've just been falling bait to this counter pushing from Midas up at the top lane.
Yeah, he's been living up here. I mean, even while his team's doing Kongor, he's sure enough continuing to push it in, fall back, push it in, fall back. So that's got to be pretty frustrating for i2p esports, but it's something that they're just going to have to deal with, and just more so well played by Drogon here. keeping on top of things, and yeah, that goes back to just a very successful game for him overall. 424 goal per minute, actually leads GPM for his team at least, slightly under the Calamity, around the 460 mark. Who, by the way, she has to have something else.
She got a glowstone.
Oh, that's
that
right. Yeah, that's right. That's what we saw that. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be a Frostless Skull we're talking about there. That's still a little. Yeah, really insisting on being somewhat... So, as far as damage goes, yeah, they're not really looking like they're going to have a lot of damage here.
No, I agree. I mean, Abyssal Skull as well as a Bulwark onto the Deadlift, and then Cthulhuphant got Alchemist Bones and the Force Field Plate as well, so very defensive items in general. They are going to need to finish this game off in the next 10 minutes or so, I would say. Otherwise, it's going to be way too difficult to actually hold... the counter pushing from the Hellborn. And look at them, they're trying to set up a bait once more down at here at the bottom. Meraxus closing in on the Hellflower soon, so if they were actually be able to get a kill onto him, that would be a big win for them.
Yeah. It's like we saw this recently here, where Magnus and Parasite being very sneaky, almost trying to... And if they were to fall for it again, that would be shame on them, definitely, because... that would have been the exact same thing. But as we see, i2p Esports is not necessarily falling for anything here. Morax is just taken at the base, where he is going to be more than fine. Just finishing his Hellflower, by the way, so going to be able to utilize that. Cthulhuphant, a couple of talking points here. Not only did he just get the Frostless Skull, he has the Alchemist Bones, of course, against his Parasite, great item. But he is also the only hero in the game right now that has not been killed yet. In fact, everyone else has at least 2 deaths in this game, so... Cthulhuphant living up to his tanky presence here that he tends to have, so that's good news for the Legion side. As whoa, look at that damage on Corrupted, man! Calamity's showing off the Dragon's Path a little bit, and in fact, Corrupted Disciple, he's going to be bursting down in the great lockdown from the Legion side. Thunder's Vault? No, they're not going to go for it, but it will get them to retreat.
That's a good point. I mean, if they would have used the Thunder's Vault to keep him from retreating, that could have been a nice opportunity for them. Actually, Torture is stuck up here at the top lane. What is he doing?
He is trying not to die, which is not
well,
going to happen.
Well, not going to be successful.
Yeah. Did he even place a ward aside or anything? He has one on him, but no, nothing. So
he had a port as well, so I'm surprised that he didn't port back with his team.
Yeah.
That could have been the deciding factor whether or not they wanted to commit to that Corrupted Disciple kit or not. I mean, Midas had already used the Shipstake. Sure, Cthulhuphant had used his Trample and Meraxus had used his Quake Stun, but I think that Sunder's... the Thunder's Vault lasts for quite some time.
Yeah.
Or how long is it?
It takes like a couple seconds at least. It doesn't actually say, does it, on it? Well, how about on this one? This filter, I assume it says. Wall is completed over 900 milliseconds and damage happens 1 second later. So basically it takes about 2 seconds for it to... It takes a second for it to form and then another second for it to do the damage. So... it takes 2 seconds.
Only 2 seconds? That doesn't make sense.
It seems like it's a little longer. Yeah. Well, it says completed over 900 milliseconds, which I believe is basically like 0.9 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So,
yeah, that sounds about right.
I want to say that's right, but yeah, I'm not too sure. It does seem like it takes a little bit longer than that, though. But, well.
Yeah, it might be some graphics effect as well. I don't know.
Anywho.
Just wait and see.
But yeah, the tablet definitely is a little bit of an issue that they're concerned about, I'm sure. But, man, they are really prioritizing this post-day. So, clearly they have an idea in mind. I mean, and I think it just comes down to a lot of almost this backdoor presence that they have. You know, with a hero like Deadlift especially, who's by all means one of the better pushers in the game and has that potential. So I think they're kind of trying to bank off of that. As bottom lane, Corrupted Disciple, they tried to turn him and unsuccessfully.
And it's top lane.
Get away. Top lane, Sheepstick on a Deadlift, though. Parasite Magnus here as well. Deadlift pretty tanky. Not tanky enough, however. And he cannot resurrect himself, of course. Cthulhuphant coming in with the trample, though. Lands on a Parasite, but he has an Infest ready to go. And he'll take over the Imp, actually. I think he might have meant for the Mauler, but hits the Imp anyways. He's going to be fine.
I really don't like all the poses, though. It doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, sure, if they have an idea in mind, and you want to pull out that kind of strategy, but I don't see it happening in this game. I mean, they can barely leave their own base before Hellborn team pushes in all the waves. And the Torture, once again, is going to find himself completely out of position. I mean, I'm sorry, bro, but that's, like, you have no reason whatsoever to be down there.
No, I agree. It's obviously, as a support, you're going to have a tough life, and you're going to die. It's very likely against an aggressive team like this, it's understandable. But no, I agree with you. The little time we've been in this game, dropping it later on, it seems like his positioning has been a little poor at a couple times. Needs to not necessarily feed kills to the other team more than you need to or should at least. So hopefully gets a little bit straightened up with that as Cthulhu Font jumping in. We'll take a sheep stick. Here we go with more follow-up, though. Magnus in the background. You get stumped by Moraxis. Thunder's Vault coming out. They turn on the Cthulhu Bot, though. Torture is still resurrected. However, Midas goes down. Great lockdown showing on him. Look at Calamity's damage again. That Dragon's Path, when she uses it, it really is some good damage.
Oh, Midas brought back. They're looking to go here.
Magnus going back out with the eruption, though. However, they stop him immediately. That was a great stop right there. Chain Reactions coming up for Torture as well. And now Luna. She's trying to run away that Dragon's Path, though. It's probably going to connect any second now. Not even necessary, really. There we go. Down she goes. And, yeah, the buyback in Midas, really unsuccessful in the end.
I was really surprised that Cthulhu didn't buy back during that fight. Like, he had such a great opportunity. He had a buyback. He was the first one to die. Like, I mean, you're not going to find a better opportunity like that. I mean, if he would have bought back, hit a trample on one or two players to follow it up on the Quakes now for Moraxis, by the way, I feel like Legion team could have just genocided the Hellborn team. But him being very patient with that buyback, the Legion team still kind of come out ahead of that, but still not as good as it could have been.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So to clarify for Calamity, so that's what it is. It's I knew I was like half right. So it's the Funeral Pyre. Her E ability is what technically hits against the proc of the attack modifiers. So in this case, the Frosted Skull and even the Thunderclaw for that matter. So that's actually another reason why Thunderclaw is pretty decent on this hero, similar to like a Tremble, to where whenever the Funeral Pyre is activated, which can be activated by her dragons, it procs the attack modifier. So it's not going to be a constant Frosted Skull proc by any means, but it will every so-so attack. How many is it? Went off cooldown. It's a 5 seconds cooldown. Okay. So every 5 seconds, basically, when she's attacking somebody.
All right.
So
yeah, Half Rights, definitely.
To clarify. Anywho, Cthulhu Font, Veiled Rot. Looking for any kind of chance right here, but maybe the middle end, if Disrupted, is going to fall back, though. If he stayed around,
all the lanes have been, or all the wards from the Hellborn team has been, what's it called, faded out or disappeared now. So they have no vision. Instead, they're going to go for this Veiled Rot gank attempt, and hopefully it doesn't backfire. Torture is here as well. He's using the Veiled Rot at the same time. Moraxis, though, in trouble.
Well, is he in trouble or are they in trouble? He's going to get jumped first, but the counterplay going to be coming out right here. Thunder's Vault going to be used, and Parasite will feel the burst damage right there. Calamity trying to stand her ground, but here comes Corrupted Disciple. Conduit is up, gaining some charges with that overload as well. Moraxis, by the way, he's still alive throughout all of this. Magma stuns in, down goes Cthulhu Font, and Deadlift just simply trying to survive once again. He does have a Resurrect, but not going to be able to get the chance to use it. He will fall in the background. Torture also going to get caught out, and he eventually will be killed off. So Moraxis, the target that started it all, he actually stays alive with Calamity, but 3 teammates dying for a Parasite kill. Definitely a 1-5 for Ogre there.
Oh yeah, safe to say. They are looking really strong now, and Magnus, look at him. He's going to port up here to place a ward into a nice position. It's really nice creativity from him. Probably going to secure one set of racks here for the Hellborn side. Cthulhu Font is the only one with a buyback in the Legion team, and I do not think that's going to be enough.
Moraxis, Sheep Stick, there's the lockdown again. He's showing that he's very tanky, though. Doesn't have a Matrix just yet. It's coming up at 3 seconds, and it is going to still be enough
it is.
to scare them off. Yeah, I mean, Corrupted is getting pretty low on life, so simply just not feeling comfortable sticking around, I guess.
I'm surprised that they weren't able to get more out of that.
Yeah.
So nice hold, definitely, by Moraxis here and Calamity. Being really aggressive, but not on the point to risk dying.
See, this is the thing about Deadlift, though, and why I truly think that he's not going to be really that powerful of a hero in the end. Is when a hero's ultimate, like, as strong as potentially on paper it is, when it's not realistically going to be a useful option, as we've seen now in a couple of games we've seen I've casted of him, it just takes so much away from the hero. So we've seen, I mean, there's been a couple opportunities for resurrections, but either he's just doing too much where he's trying to survive himself, or they eventually get destroyed. They destroy the gravestones really quickly. So that potential is really almost neglected. And sure, Onslaught's a good ability, but when you take away some hero's complete ability like that, it definitely hurts him quite a bit. So it's kind of a sidetrack
His
thing,
impact
but
in those team fights are more or less limited to the hour items that he's currently possessing.
Exactly. Which then you could argue it's like, well, why not get a hero that could be useful, and also get the aura item. So
They're running around here with the haste on the Praxis, not really finding a kill though. Look at the top though. Oh, okay,
fake.
that's fake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, good. Hopefully they don't use too much, and they don't at least. That's the good news. But
once again though, back and forth, the Legion team is really having a hard time making a commitment. Like, I know it's scary to push up the base, but I don't know, you need to make something happen. Because Hellborn team, they're just waiting to get the counter push going, and then they're probably just going to try to secure yet another Congo kill.
Congo.
Oh, the Buster Box is actually used, by the way, by Clockmark trying to counter this area down here, so this might be an opportunity.
Oh, they're going to find Cthulhu, by the way. This is a big chance right here. He has a prospect play, not using it, actually. I don't know why, but he will be able to trample away, use the hook for mitigation, and he'll survive for now.
He's got a regeneration rune as well. Can they turn this one around?
Oh, he does. Yeah, he's coming back into the fight, baby. Deadlift, he's like, no, I don't want to fight. I want to get out of here, and he will be successful, so never mind. Cthulhu actually staying back, and the Legion team deciding it's best to not commit to anything right there, figuring the start that they had. Now, the question is, will they defend Kongor? They need to come over here pretty quickly.
So. I feel like the wards are a little bit off. Like, they're prioritizing getting wards up in the enemy forest, but, like, the Hellborn team, they're not even over there. They're already in the Legion forest. So now they're going to get a free Kongor. I don't see the Legion team defending this without vision. There isn't a puzzle box on the Parasite, though, so that could be one thing that you were looking to if you really want to go for a fight.
Okay.
But it's taking far too long for them. I mean, they need to rush over there.
Yeah, you see Corrupted Disciple scouting out with the illusions. Now, this could be a fault of Ogre, though. They're not fully committing to Kongor, and we'll see what happens now. Cthulhu jumps in. Corrupted Disciple already about half-life. He's trying to run this whole time. He's in trouble. The Hellfire on him, but while he's distracting, his teammates are doing a little bit of work. There's the Sunner's Vault only catching Parasite, really, and he was on the outskirts of it, so not the biggest one right there. However, Parasite eventually will be killed off. It ends up being a 1-for-1 torture for Parasite. They'll gladly take that, and here we go with the Resurrection, actually, as Torture comes back up now, so there is a decent use of it.
Come on, go guys, full in on Kongor. This is the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know why they're playing it so safe. I mean, again, they don't have the vision like we do, so they're probably thinking maybe they're sneaking around somewhere, but in the end, as we see, that is absolutely a Kongor kill. As Calamity picks up the token there, so, whew. And she gets a
that
Giro,
actually went really well by for the Legion team. I did not expect that. The Hellborn team, they were so hesitant on actually committing to the Kongor. They were standing uphill, all of them, instead of just killing it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So they really gave Legion team a chance there to defend and take a fight.
And that token of life on Calamity now. She's level 24, by the way, as well. As well, actually, Midas level 24 on top of that. This Drogon, man, he is just really...
512 gold per minute, yeah, wow.
Kind of just catching off guard every time we see it here, but you do see Calamity with that new Genjiro of hers, so she had a lot of gold saved up, and she is using that to her benefit here, but unable to chase down Magnus ultimately. The jump here, though, of this Legion side, I think Moraxis and Cthulhu have done a fantastic job this game of getting some big initiations here.
Oh, they're gonna try to surround Midas. He has to blink out right now, but his port is on cooldown. He doesn't have the post haste.
You're right. Yeah, he's gonna try to hide here. Deadlift with the death grip. It lands, and here comes Cthulhu Fawn. Now he's gonna shrunk in, but again, he doesn't have post haste for another couple seconds, so he needs to live, somehow get away. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Drop the porta key, pick it up, maybe. Go for some clutch plays. That's not gonna happen.
If you were to try that, I mean, he would probably just drop it there, and then he wouldn't be able to retrieve it after he resurrected. So it could have worked, but the chances of it actually succeeding would have been minimal.
I would have done it.
He did use the BKB though in an attempt to try to get away, so that's 1 second of the duration as well.
Yeah.
Legion team, however, they do have the token of life now. Are they going to commit to something more? Midas does have a buyback, but it would be his final, and of course Legion team does not have the information that we do. So I really feel like they should try to commit to something here.
Absolutely. Magnus loves this spot, by the way, at the bottom lane. Him and Parasite really sticking together, looking for kills. But it's worked at least once before, but once again, this time it's not going to work, it looks like. You see the Wild Hunter scouting out of the front lines. Torturer, he is pushing up, though. But it seems like they're going to fall back as they figure out there's a little too much coming. Yeah, as Calamity also joins the party. And again, she's usually in early on in the game, of course, she tends to be a fairly squishy hero, of course, but not so much anymore. The Frosted Skull, the Shrunken Head.
Ursa is running real deep here with the Wild Hunter. Okay, he's gonna hide in the forest, so he got the situation under control. Magnus down here as well. I mean, if the Legion team would just pick up a Boundai, they would save themselves so much trouble. Actually, Magnus is gonna steam buff and port out. That's a risk position, though. He's spotted by the creeps, but oh damn!
They knew he was there, but they couldn't get there in time. So it's almost like a taunt by Magnus, like, haha, I'm out of here, peace. He is fine though, and here comes a push. However, Deadlift, of course, leading the way.
This is, however, after Midas already resurrected. Like, why not do this when Midas was dead? Or at least try to bring some pressure. I know it's difficult to run across the entire map, and I guess my Magnus was in a position to try to backdoor, so I guess it wasn't possible. But I'm not sure if they're able to actually take a fight uphill here.
Well, Calamity says we are. She's going to be in the front lines. Magnus, look at the Moraxis in the background as well. Jumps Midas. Midas is dead. He does have a buyback.
And
he's going to need to use it immediately. Parasite goes down to Calamity, showing off her right-click damage potential. Midas not buying back, by the way. It would be his final buyback. He just says, you know what, the racks are dead, let it be, but Corrupted Disciple got a little too close. And Cthulhu fought Moraxis, jump in, pops Circuit Head. Midas still not buying back, and yep, the game paused. I thought I might have lagged for a second, but no, that was just simply a pause here in a very intense moment.
I don't know what the Hellborn team is trying to achieve with this kind of. Are they just trying to hold off the Legion team and be like, okay, we're just gonna trade one set of racks? Because Magnus has been counter pushing this entire time. He's down here trying to get the melee racks, but it's going far too slower than the Legion's push. Yeah. So I don't feel like the Hellborn team is on the same page right here. I mean, Midas has to buyback. Just port back Magnus and try to just genocide the Legion team instead.
I got the replay up right here. I mean, yeah, you just look at the Summoner's Fall trapping Parasite input. The right clicks, man. Yeah, the Funeral Pyre, it's a really strong ability. I mean, the fact that it deals an extra attack, and then when you have the items that she does, you know, the Thunderclaw, the Frosted Skull, like you're talking about, those other procs right there, definitely helping. And the stealing of the stats as well, that's something you wouldn't necessarily think about maybe with this hero, but, you know, it's only 4 right now, but that's plus 12 agility on top of plus 12 movement speed that she currently has from the Funeral Pyre. So, you know, pretty solid to say the least as far as enhancing her in these fights, but yeah, overall, it's definitely a very good spot for i2p Esports right here. And here we go, coming out of the pause. Corrupted Disciple, I don't know if he's going to survive this. Dead Shall Rise Nuke, not going to do anything because of the Shrunken Head, but
there's the final, final buyback by Midas, by the way. He just bought back.
That's a little late.
Yeah, that's way too late. If they're actually trying to commit to this, Magnus going to use a BKB or Shrunken Head in his own base.
Wow.
Just like that.
That had to be misclick, because, yeah, there was really no reason right there. I really think that was a misclick.
He might have been scared for Moraxis jumping in with a Quake Stun or something, but they wouldn't have had follow-up either way, so yeah, that must have been a misclick.
Calamity's
Look at Midas now. No, Corrupted Disciple. What? Corrupted Disciple ran all the way over here?
What the hell?
He was in the middle of the fight, and then he ran all over here.
Dodging, man.
He's gonna go for Torture! Oh my god, a clutch kill of the year.
How did Torture not see that? He had such a long time to see that, I feel like. Anyways, Moraxis jumps to Corrupted. And so, is it worth it? I don't know. The fact that he's even over here is just pretty funny in the first place. But, no, he's going to be chased down Onslaught with a slow. There's a Geometry Spin. He should have used that earlier, actually, to remove the slow.
You need to focus Moraxis with it, otherwise he's going to get this pull kick. Okay, he's going to use the stun instead.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah. He did his darnest, man, but
what the hell was that all about, though?
Yeah, that was funky. Just all of a sudden, Corrupted's at the top lane with a quarter of his life. And he ends up killing Torture, but obviously not worth it. And look at Calamity, by the way, a savage mace. You talk about that Funeral Fire. There's even more extra burst damage potential with that now on the Savage Mace. So
this game, or this hero, is a ranged Tremble.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. It's not every attack by any means, but it's close. Kind of, not really, but still.
You can see the similarities
powerful.
At least.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I knew there was something, so I was thinking about it, but I remember pointing that out in the spotlight that we did for this hero. But yeah, I gotta say this was one, especially just because so many people said other than you, it's like don't expect to see this hero. But man, this team, i2p Esports, they love it and they are showing why. This is not a rollover victory by any means if they come through, as Calamity in the trouble, though, as we're talking about it. She goes down. Can deadlift resurrect, though? The Gravestone's still there? No, it does get destroyed. In the meantime, Mirax is still holding his ground. Luna's going to fall. Midas dropping half-life, low life. And yes, he will go down. Magnus stunning in, but running away immediately. Look at, guess who's coming back, by the way? Calamity, as she bought back. And no, never mind.
Was canceled, though.
It was, yeah.
The catapult was killed. She got a little bit too greedy with the selection of the creep she wanted to port in.
Yep.
It was in the middle of the team fight and ended up dying, so that was a big mistake. That could have sealed the deal for this Legion team.
Yeah. Well.
But maybe it still will. I mean, Midas is out of buybacks, and oh, look at that! No, wait, that was 2 illusions.
Just the 2 illusions there. So not a big deal necessarily, but it's almost like Calamity. She's like, I bought back, I want to make something happen now. It's Magnus stuns in to kill Torture. Took some good damage from Calamity, but Calamity realizing that was going to be better to fall back from here. So, I mean, that's her final buyback, by the way. So, actually, this... It seemed like that this Legion side was starting to get to the point where this could be a GG. I was even talking like it, but now that I'm looking at the big picture here, this actually is not 100% over by any means. This is still game.
It's not, and Torture went for the post-hits as well, which I simply just cannot agree with. I mean, that's a lot, or a big chunk of gold for support. It's already struggling. Like, that could have been invested into a Bound Eye or something that helps with the map awareness or map control instead. And, like, okay, they do actually have a Storm Spirit onto Deadlift, but he doesn't have a portal key, so it's not going to be as effective as if he were to have a portal key. As you saw there in the last fight, he wasn't able to save Calamity in time. I really feel like maybe Kutofan should even pick one up.
Yeah, Calamity is really an interesting hero as far as item selection goes, because I really, she definitely, she's kind of like a Kronos, isn't she, in that sense, where she can be played as a hard carry, which honestly she's kind of basically built here in the end, with the Genjiro, the Savage Mace, the Frosted Skull, of course. It's actually, we do have initiation down here. I believe they jumped Deadlift in the first place, but here comes the Thunder's Fall. Look at Parasite off the bat, dropping pretty low. Those are illusions, I believe, of Corrupted Disciple, but Magnus, that's a real one. They do kill Deadlift, but will it come at a cost? It's a question. Corrupted Disciple, he's trying to run down Calamity. Getting jumped in the background, though, with the burst damage. She's at a quarter of her life, a little bit less even, but the Genjiro, they don't have vision. They don't have any vision. That is a big no-no right here. Corrupted Disciple will go down, and Magnus also going to fall. Oh, boy, not having the vision. The puzzle boxes were dead, obviously. That was the difference maker right there, at least for killing Calamity in that fight.
It's the buyback status now for the Hellborn team. They still have one on Corrupted, one on Magnus as well, so they shouldn't end up losing any more racks, but the Conqueror should be up any minute here. It would just be so perfect if it would actually were to respawn here. I mean, this is the third Conqueror as well, so it would result in both the bananas and the Token of Life. Calamity, wow, already 3k gold saved up as well. I mean, she's looking to be full slotted here in the near, or in the next maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah. But again, so I was going about Calamity before that fight broke out. It's like she can be built either as a very ulti-heavy hero and, you know, just looking to be a good team fight hero with like a Resto Stone, a Staff for the Master, you know, something like a Sheep Stick. I can really see that kind of utility there. Or like this style, a very hard carry. And she's definitely chosen the hard carry route with her team makeup and everything. And it's clearly working out very well. And you see in the middle lane, Calamity, I believe, is... Oh, no, she's already here. That was Corrupted Disciple porting in. Calamity in the midst of it, though. She does not have her Sutter's Fall. The Shrunken Head, she's going to be locked down, and she goes dead. That was not the Shrunken. That was the Midas.
Yeah, she had plenty of time to activate the Shrunken, though, but she, for some reason, just didn't. And the Chain Reaction is going to miss on Magnus as well.
Yeah.
Now Deadlift is in trouble. He's not going to get away from this one.
No, he's not. He's going to be chased down very likely. There's the Sheep Stick, and here's the follow-up, and... Oh boy, we've seen this once or twice before, where a team gets a little too comfortable and they start diving.
I'm not sure if they could go for the throne, if it would be enough damage. I almost feel like it could, but I guess they could go for the safer route as well. I almost feel like the Legion team could just port back and try the backdoor, go for the shrine themselves.
Yeah.
They do have post haste, all of them. Torture is trying to his best to counter push up here at the top lane as well. I'm not sure how effective this is going to be, but... What?
I feel bad for him because I was watching.
This is where you use the post haste and you just force the buyback, or force the Hellborn team to port back.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that's one tier 4 tower dead. Sure, you're losing your racks, but they need to defend that shrine. Like, that's the game if they don't. So I 100% agree with you. But yeah, no, they're going to kill the racks. And, You see Magnus is now coming back at least, so they got a little bit of defense there. But the other tier 4 tower even takes a lot of damage.
The Hellborn team, like the fact that they didn't get more than one line or one set of racks from that entire, like they just killed 2 heroes in level 25 and level 22. They were gone for, I don't know, 1.5 minutes, both of them. They had no buybacks, and this is something that the Hellborn team should be aware of, or at least the Calamity one, the fact that she already purchased or rebought twice. So they could have gone for, I mean, I felt like they had the opportunity to even go for the World Tree there, but for some reason ending up with just one set of racks, that's definitely not a very good trade.
And by the way, Wingbow just purchased by Calamity. Again, it goes back to she is out of buybacks completely. She did sell the Thunderclaw for this as well. But Midas, I believe, is building a Savage Mace. Now, I'm not saying that's a reason to not build a Wingbow here, but they will at least have a Savage Mace counter, ideally, in the near future here. But, yeah, still not yet, though.
Damn, Savage Mace Midas? I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
Yeah. That's a little different here, but...
I don't know how effective it's going to be. Isn't, like, Hellflower having the same effect? Like, if you silence Calamity, she's not going to be able to evade the attacks either.
Man, Cthulhu Fun, he had a chance. I thought he was going to go for it too. He portal keyed right as Midas portal keyed, and if he trampled right there in the correct direction, would have had it, but easy for us to say.
Let's go for the trade. Come on, show us. Calamity, pour it in here. Take the fight.
By the way, this is really awkward. A Veiled Rot deadlift is kind of silly, because you see the minions still.
As long as you have the creeps, yeah.
Yeah, so... He's kind of Veiled Rotting around. It's like, well, that's not really going to work.
Look at Torture, by the way, Impalement. He got a Bound Eye, though, so he needs to be careful.
Yeah, don't give that up. Do they have a Bound Eye yet? No. Oh, they do. Okay, Parasite does, yeah. And the puzzle box as well. He should probably get that to somebody else. Anyways, scrub to the side bull getting jump right here. Half-Life. Wow, that damage. Calamity showing it off. He buys back immediately, by the way. They do kill Magnus, though, in the process. The Eruption not really doing a whole lot right there. But here comes Scrub the Disciple, locked in on Cthulhu Fun with the Sheepstick. More access out here. It's 3-man set in the background. Midas jumping in with the Transmute. Deadlift being locked down, but Calamity's in the back. She's kind of keeping her distance as she should. And look at the Dragon's Path doing a work. That Funeral Pyre auto attacks, and down goes Midas. He is out of buybacks, remember. The racks are going to be cleaned up. And it's been scary a couple times here, but I think i2p Esports actually has broken through. And this could be GG coming up as Calamity going on a double tap streak. But she's been fun to watch. But I really go back to Moraxis and Cthulhu Fun. I think have done a fantastic job this game of initiation here. And that definitely was a big difference maker too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they had some sloppy moments, like as a team in general, like where they were more or less just pushed back into their own base. But in general, I think the Legion team played really well and solid in those team fights, like Moraxis and Cthulhu Fun, especially, like you mentioned, just on top of their initiation every single time. Like Quakestun, I don't know how many team fights in a row like that he hit one or I mean 2 or 3 targets in every single fight. Yeah. So yeah, big props for them. Definitely being up 1 game versus Dragoslav is not something that I expected.
And again, I don't know what the synergy is between Deadlift and Calamity, but they clearly like the combo. It happens to be now 2 games that we've seen them, and they sure enough have ran it and actually won it in the end. So, but hey, it works.
I mean, the post haste into the Deadlift creeps is one, but I mean, Calamity is definitely not the only hero that can do so.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just like. I don't know. I mean, having like the early game presence with the Calamity, it's like the only carry that can really do so or put a lot of pressure on and still like be a very strong presence in the late game. I guess